Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Quick, coming again from HireMilitary's LinkedIn Live page. So you see next to me right here, someone didn't show up for LinkedIn Live today. So I was gonna, I called some more people, but they couldn't do it right now. So I come on here and I'm gonna take some questions. I'll share my transition journey with everybody, but let it be known that we are here to help. We're here to help a transitioning veterans, service members, military spouses. So if you want to come on LinkedIn Live or you want a phone call, we're always there. But just kind of like maybe a job interview or a recruiter, don't ghost anybody about this stuff because, we're here to help. So real fast, so my journey, first of all, I got a haircut. First time in 3-4 months getting a haircut, so it feels good. So my face is not much better for video, but it's there. So my transition journey was in June of 2018. One morning, 1 week, I just decided that it was time to call it quits. So I just talked to my bosses and said I'm going to retire. And they, tried to talk to me into staying, that kind of stuff. It felt good, but my family was higher priority at that time. So what we did was I said I'm going to retire by December, so I have less than 6 months to get ready to go. So I couldn't take advantage of the DoD Skill Bridge program. But the first thing I did was when it was submitted, I called my mentor, and he said, "Let's game plan this." So he talked to me. We talked for about 30 minutes. We game planned. The top priority I had to do was get my medical in check. Make sure all my debt was paid down, get life insurance because SBP wasn't my thing because I was relatively healthy and I didn't need it. But I had a mentor and we game planned some stuff. So, and that's what we did. So I'm gonna look at the LinkedIn Facebook page or LinkedIn social media page, and we'll get some questions here as well. In the meantime, so what I was doing was I was preparing myself to get out, but only had, I think it was 2 more months of working, so I had to figure out quickly. And I think it helped me because I didn't have to think about things. It was more reactive. So for me, it was much easier to do this, to transition. I recently shared a poll on LinkedIn, and I'll only do 1 or 2 polls. That's it. I don't want to overdo that great function that LinkedIn has for us. But out of the 4 questions about, I was searching for feedback from others, what they wish they could do if they can do it again. So I had a list of networking, DoD Skill Bridge program, life insurance, and the VA disability process. So what is I asked the question is which one is most important to them, or if they can reach back and do it again, which one would they prioritize? The top one was networking and LinkedIn by 35%. So over 300 votes, 35% was networking and LinkedIn, 32% were DoD Skill Bridge. So those 2 were the overwhelming favorites on what people wish they had done more to prepare for transition. The DA disability claim process, that was 26%, and then SBP was 7%. So I think those things are more maybe not prioritized as much because people want to look for jobs in the outside of the military. So I don't think they put a lot of effort into those things. So I say that to say this: we have plenty of things, plenty of programs we want to look at when we transition, but first and foremost, find a mentor. That helped me tremendously. And it could be 2 or 3 mentors. You can ask around and people will help you out. Network, and network some more, because those things it will save you time in the long run. And for those on Facebook watching this right now or watch it later on, get a LinkedIn account now. I had my LinkedIn account, I think it was 2013, way before I needed it. But I started using it in 2018 when I was transitioning. So for me, it helped me out because I'm one of those people that once I got the mentorship, he told me how to do things. And I found out that Mike Quinn was coming to Fort Bragg to give his transition class. I signed up and I went there. So that helped me out as well. Find a mentor, like I said, and you can get your resume translated or assistance. The USO Pathfinder team is a phenomenal source that I use here on Fort Bragg when I transitioned out of here. Hire Heroes USA, they do a great job with resumes. If you want to pay for resume writing services, that's great too. I didn't, but it's possible. Wouldn't recommend it because it's not guaranteed a job, but to each their own, I suppose. So once again, if you're just joining us now, we had a scheduled guest today. Didn't show up for whatever reason. Maybe they had a great weekend and they just forgot about it. But we text and we email. So if anybody wants to come on right now, send me your email. I'll send you an invite and you come on. It's that simple. So I'll try that for the first time. So let's look at some questions here from the Facebook or LinkedIn. Look at both of them. I see Crystal Lockhart's on watching. If you can come on, Crystal, we can talk. Rodney Johnson, how you doing? Who else here? So maybe nobody wants to come on today. So we're going to do this 2 p.m. every day for the next foreseeable future. I'll bring a guest on. We can talk about military transition. We can talk about plenty of things. Military spouses. I wanted to reserve Wednesdays for military spouses, and we'll look at that as well. But there's plenty of things. So, again, my transition, it was so fast. I didn't have time to think about things. I just reacted. By the time I submitted my retirement, I was well into the get out mode, to find more employment, to spend more time with family. But mentorship really helped me out a lot. And those that are within 12 months of separation from the military, please sign up for a DoD Skill Bridge opportunity. These internship opportunities really, they can pave the way for your next career. Whether you're looking to stay in the same field, whether you're looking to get into a new field, make sure you meet the qualifications. But again, sign up for a DoD Skill Bridge opportunity through HireMilitary.us. Upload your resume, and we will match you. We'll try to match you with a good opportunity with one of our partner companies. And there's so many of them right here. And two of the biggest things that I found out was try to know where you want to live. I know most people do say that they'll go where the job takes them, but talk with your family and figure out where you want to live, because it could be what's best for them. Whether you stay right where you're at, whether you go back home, wherever that's at, or whether you go down to North Carolina because it's great weather down here, except for August. I love it though. Still looking at more questions here. No questions coming through, but I'll just refresh my page. But I want to talk real fast about SBP. If you retire from the military, I know I was during my transition course, we were really told about survivor benefits plan and how it was beneficial for the families. So I would pay 6.5% of my retirement pay for 30 years. It would go up as my pay would increase annually, however that worked. So I decided, and the payout for that, if I was to pass away within that time frame, was my wife would get 55% of my base pay. So if I was making, let's say, $3,000 a month for my military retirement pay, and I paid $268 or whatever it was at the time for SBP, if I passed away, she would get only probably $1,600 a month. So that's not a lot of money for someone to live on for the rest of their lives. So we decided to go with a 30-year term life policy, and I pay about $140 a month for that. So for me, that was a 30-year, I guess, peace of mind for my family to say, if I die between now and 30 years, my wife gets a lump sum of money, and we chose $1 million. So she'd be an instant millionaire. She cooks my food, so at any time she can probably become an instant millionaire because I eat her food. So we chose that option because it was best for us. And then when I retired, I thought about, my mentor said, well, what if you live past 30 years? You don't think about that when you're retiring. You think about just right now getting a job. So the things that the mentors help us with is really to help us think out further. So I actually got a second policy with a lower payout, probably $400,000, and I pay a couple $100 extra a month for that. It's a permanent policy. So overall, I pay about $350 a month for two policies that will cover me for, hopefully for life. Will cover my family for life because I won't be around. So that's why we chose to decline SBP and go with life insurance. But to each their own. It's definitely a personal decision. And let's look at some more questions here, if there are any. So some of the questions we have when people get out is they worry so much about getting a job. They worry so much about their resume, and networking really falls through. So again, the picture to my right, your left, is really a service member that was booked for today's LinkedIn Live that chose not to show up for whatever reason. But if they ever ask me for assistance, I'm still there for them. That's what we do. All right, I guess there's some chats here. Michael Rayner, we can always chat. TRICARE, good question. Derek Yee asked about TRICARE. I don't know much about TRICARE because I let my wife handle that. I think we have TRICARE Select, and I think the premiums are paid up over the year as you go to the doctor's office. I'm not seeing that often by medical, but I will figure it out. I'll figure that out, and we'll learn more about it. So if anybody wants to drop their email address in the message to me, I'll be on here and we'll talk about things. Yes, Ronnie, I'm just winging it today, talking about my transition, hopefully give more perspective to people. That's what we do today. But again, every day at 2 p.m. East Coast time, I will be on LinkedIn Live with a guest. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll put out the call on both HireMilitary and my personal page to figure out who wants to come on, and we can talk more about different topics for transitioning folks, military spouses, or veterans. Ryan Jones asked a question. Matt, what did your family decide to do after your 30-year term life? Again, I spoke to a professional, and a mentor says, really, if you outlive your policy, what happens to your family then? I didn't want to leave my family high and dry, so I chose to get a lower policy, permanent policy, for about $400,000. So no matter when I die, it might be 120, 140 years old. I'm pretty good health for the most point. I want them taken care of. I don't want to worry about things besides that. So I chose a permanent policy as well as that. Nicole Moss asks about, did I choose SBP? I didn't choose SBP. I chose to go with term life. My wife and I chose not to go with SBP. It was about $260 a month, so I didn't choose that. All right, so Steven Covington, I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot you an email right now and see if this works. I'm going to see if I can get you on here real fast. So stand by for your email for invitation. Invitation sent, Stephen, and we'll see if you can pop on here real fast. That way we can have a conversation, because I'm not a fan of this. I'd rather have someone to talk to. I'm not a loner. But in the meantime, certifications. So if you're in transition from the military, or you're a veteran, or you're a military spouse, please go use Syracuse University's Onward Opportunity Program. I went through my training to get the senior professional HR course done. I did the course because Kenneth Mays out of Fort Bragg says, "Hey, you're an HR guy. You have the experience. You have the credentials. You have the background and the degree. So try the SPHR." I went through the training. I did not test out. I got back to work. I just went full steam ahead with the work. So I chose the new career over my SPHR. But Kenneth Mays, I will do it eventually. I will credit Syracuse University's Onward Opportunity at any point. All right, look, some more questions here while we wait for Steven to come on. And I promise I won't take much more of your time. I'm just going to try to get Steven on here, answer a couple more questions. Hopefully this isn't too boring. But tomorrow, again at 2 p.m. East Coast time, we'll have a guest on. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet, but we'll definitely be on there. Eric Schmitz, way to adapt. Hey, Eric Schmitz and I, we trained together at, I don't know, ForceCom's physical assessment test pilot. Great guy right there. Let's see some more questions. So Sherrick Nelson says, so Matt, you also declined VGLI as well, I think it's implied. Yeah, I did decline VGLI. For me, it just didn't make sense because I think that the premiums go up over time. I wanted a consistent premium, not going over time. So I chose to decline that. Let me see here. I see a couple more emails coming through here. So Chuck, I'm going to send you an invitation too, and the first one to really come on here, I'll put you on here and we'll talk about things. Hey, it looks like Steven's coming on now. Look at some more questions right here. So those are getting ready to go to transition. Listen, it is a scary thing, and there's some stress and anxiety related to military transition, but there's an entire military family that will assist you through this. Just don't do it alone. Like Herb Thompson says, own your transition, own your journey. He says it well, but definitely reach out to people because we're here for you, and this is what we do. This is our career now, is to help you, is to assist you through transition. Hopefully to avoid some of the things that we ran into as we transitioned. All right, so Michael Vargas asks, will HireMilitary offer veterans and those spouses who are already transitioned out internships in the future? Unfortunately, the DoD Skill Bridge program limits us to transition service members who are within 6 months of separation. So that's the written policy and law right there. So I see Steven's on now. Steven, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Steven? No. All right. So I'm gonna pull you over and put you on. Are you ready to go? Hey, you can add some over here, right? So I'm gonna slide you over here. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Let me send this send live here. So if you're ready to go, hey, welcome in Steven Covington, right?
Oh, live and direct.
Hey, you are live on HireMilitary with us right now.
Let's go.
So don't be nervous, all right? There's like 3 people watching this. You got a great haircut as well. I got a new haircut. So, hey, what do your questions say, Steven?
Man, so life is happening right now, right? So I'm in the transition. My retirement date is officially 31 July this
Wait,
year.
you're retiring? You don't look very old though.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
So you retire in July, right?
Yes.
So where are you at right now? Where are you located at?
I'm in Kalamazoo, North Carolina right now.
You're a Marine.
All day.
Semper Fi. So I
Super
spent 4 years in Camp Lejeune before my Army career.
Okay.
So I needed as a kid. I wasn't the best kid, truth be told. I needed a good foundation. I got my foundation in the Marine Corps, and then I wanted an easier life.
Right.
Join the Army. And it wasn't that much easier.
Okay.
Hey, so are you gonna stay right there in Lejeune, Jacksonville, or what?
Well, see, that's what I mean by when life happens, right? The plan was, we had a house picked out here, put a down payment on it, and life happened, and we decided to go back to the Chicagoland area. So, as soon as we made that choice, it just seems like the big red arrows. Everything was happening. My wife was already employed in her dream job. She's a mental health counselor, and now it's time for me to refocus and figure out what am I going to do in the Chicagoland area. So that's packing up this house, TMO, and you had mentioned, worrying about finding a job. Honestly, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So it's like you spend 23 years the Marine Corps telling you, hey, this is what you're going to do and be good at it and advance and excel. But, is that something you really enjoy doing? So I guess my question would be, what advice do you have for someone in my position that really doesn't know what the hell they want to do, man? It's like,
that could be the toughest question because we all want to do something. We want to give back. Right. So what's your background?
Communication. So I came up radio background, single channel. Ultimately, I'm a communications chief now. So a planner for IT type, no certifications, but I've been dealing with it for some time. So I guess my job as a master sergeant of Marines, I tell the Marines is to mentor, guide, and get their wall locker looking like mine. So
I love it. I love it. Well, communications is a big thing. So are you a sports fan?
Yeah, I am. I like playing more than I like following, but yes.
All right. Well, I'm getting kind of old, so I really can't play anymore. I play softball and maybe some cornhole.
Okay.
But there's jobs. Where are you looking for jobs in Chicago? Are you looking for which side?
Say again?
Where in Chicago are you looking to work? Downtown or the outer limits or whereabouts?
Northern Chicago, anywhere really. We'll be living in about an hour away from we'll be living about 30 minutes away from the city of Chicago.
Okay.
And I don't mind commuting. I'd rather drive an hour to work. That way, when I go home, I don't see any of my coworkers,
But you're going to love them though, right?
Right. Always.
Just from a distance. I get that.
Right.
So there's plenty of opportunities that we see all nationwide. But communications is a big thing for the civilian world. Yeah. So whether you work with a corporation or a small company, even if you don't want to do that, there's plenty of veteran, I guess, specific programs. And some small or medium-sized companies, they will bring you on to work their veteran hiring initiatives.
Oh, wow.
So there's plenty of opportunities to create your own opportunities out there that will benefit both you and the company if you can get into that space. Okay. So we're seeing that. And a lot of jobs just I know Mike Quinn talks about this frequently, and so do others, that not all jobs are posted online. Some jobs are gained through networking. So if you know somebody in the Chicago area, a small company, a medium-sized company, reach out to them and offer your value to them. Say, listen, this is what I bring to you. Were you ever a drill sergeant?
No, I wasn't a drill instructor, but I think every Marine is a drill instructor.
That is my mistake. I apologize.
That's all right. So
drill instructors in the Marine Corps, I faced them for a few months.
Right. Yeah.
But create your own opportunity. You can reach out and that's what I would do. So we can actually take your resume. So if you register on a HireMilitary site, upload your resume, we can search for opportunities in the Chicago area for you, with you.
Okay.
Because it's a team sport here, right? We're all playing together.
Sure, yeah. So I'll actually do that now. I'm on USA Jobs now, and it's funny that you say not all opportunities are posted online. And I think one of my, they say know thyself and seek self-improvement.
Yeah.
One of my faults is that I feel a certain way about calling. Like, let's say we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a certain way about calling you and say, hey man, I need a job. It's just something in me that, I'd rather help you than be dependent on you, if that makes sense. I don't know.
But you're now going into a world that you're kind of a rookie at. So
Yes.
you have to be the one to sit back and listen to mentors, sit back and listen to veterans. They're going to tell you all kinds of advice. Everybody will have advice.
Okay.
You take that advice and you apply that at different places, or you take the best advice that you think and roll with it. The HireMilitary team, myself, Mike Quinn, Chris Thorne, Jason Willett, Adam Martinez are out there to help you. This is our only job in life, is to help transition military and veterans and spouses hopefully gain employment through internships, but employment as well.
Okay.
So for you and your spouse, did you take the SBP, or are you going to do life insurance?
No, life insurance. Actually, I do my life insurance exam this week. I opted out of the SBP solely for I'd rather be investing that $200+ a month somewhere else.
And that's smart.
I just want to see my money, really. I want to see it first.
Yeah.
It's something about somebody telling me that once you start giving me this money, you can no longer get it back, or it's going to take you 24 months, and then you can say you no longer want to give it to me. But by the way, that 24 months of cash is just gone. Yeah.
That's true. So you mentioned taking an exam. Are you gonna be a life insurance salesman?
No. So they a health exam. I'm sorry.
Okay. Good. All right, good for you.
Yeah.
So hey, as long as you're both and you and your wife agree on that, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, she sort of like gave me the knife hand and was like, "Hey, I'm not signing this document until you have something in place to replace."
She gave you the knife hand?
She both of them. Like, hey, it was.
She must have been serious.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, that's good though. So what other questions you have about your transition, and maybe what tips can you offer other Marines in your situation to help them transition successfully?
So
any tips for us?
I think understanding that the Marine Corps or the military is a part of you, but it's not who you are. It's what you did for 20-something years, but it's not who you are. So you have to try to tap into that. Who is Steve Covington really? Like, I'm no longer going to be a master sergeant when I walk into this next job. I am going to be Steve Covington, and based off of how I walk in is how do I want to say it?
They're hiring you for a value add, not for your rank or your status, right?
Right. I'm not that rank, so I think for some it's going to be hard. Understanding that rank is no longer valid out there in the civilian world. Just try to just practice being a human being. That's advice. I
like that advice.
Practice being a normal human being, man. It's it's kind of weird, even introducing myself as Steven Covington.
And this is coming from a Marine, and I think we all know that once and always a Marine.
Yeah. Always. And
but leave the cape back, though.
Hey, I get the itch when I'm driving down the expressway and I see a sticker. I give him a nod, and he has his window rolled down. I scream "hoorah!" But that's in there.
There's a time and a place for that, right? Not in the workforce, though.
Right. Yes. Yeah, but I'm excited, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to embark.
Good.
My daughter's starting college at Northern Illinois. my son, he'll be working up there. It's like I said, all the arrows just started lighting up once we made the choice to move back to Chicago. So
now you didn't mention that you had no certifications yet for your career, so I would recommend you go through Onward Opportunity for certification now or as a veteran. You and your spouse can take advantage of that as well.
Okay, that's I'll write that down.
Good. Hey, so since you don't like advice and you don't like anything like that because you don't want to ask for it, after we end this, I'm going to take your email address and send you my personal phone number.
Okay.
Call me, text me. I will help you out through transition. We can talk more, okay?
Well, I love advice. But
okay, good.
I don't like
asking for it.
Perfect example. My grass needs to be cut. We just moved back into the rental property. I don't have a lawnmower yet. My wife says, ask the neighbor to borrow his lawnmower. I just like I would rather him borrow my lawnmower than me go borrow his.
Oh, you're right. And I'll tell you, I was mowing a neighbor's lawn probably a month ago, and this guy pulls up in a truck, and I saw the veteran tags on it. He goes, "Is that your lawnmower? Can I borrow it?" I said, "I'm going to finish this lawn first, but yeah, come to my house and borrow my lawnmower." Came to my house, borrowed my lawnmower, brought it back in 3 hours later with the tank full, and thanked me. And it was a good – sometimes people just need that, man. And right. I know it's hard asking, but they're willing to give it to you. Yes, absolutely. Get out of that mindset, Marine.
Right. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for allowing me to invade your live.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'm going to send you an email with my phone number, and then we'll talk later this week.
All right, man. Good luck in there. Stay healthy out there.
Hey, thank you very much. And everybody will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Right.
All right. Talk to you then.
Out.